Okay, so what I like to do every single morning is just kind of take a look at each one of my individual positions, and I'll take a look at the baited weighted position. First, we'll start out with IWM. And what we have here is it looks like, we put our calendar on a few days ago. We put a double calendar on. You can tell from the graph what a double calendar looks like. And we are right now kind of approaching the bad area because we're way up here in this corner, very close to our break even. Our break even is still another point, maybe a little bit more than a point away, but it's in a position where it ain't looking so good. So we may have to come back and take a look at that and see if an adjustment is necessary. We like to keep, we like to keep our positions right around the center position on a double calendar. So let's an adjustment today may be necessary. So let's take a look at that. Now let's go through our other positions. Take a look at our SPY, which we just adjusted. Looking really good right here in the center. Looks like we got a nice little profit situation going on here. We've got extended break-even points at 131 and 144. I think we're in pretty good shape. That looks pretty good. I mean, we're a little short Delta here, but we're also short Vega, which kind of cancel each other out. So, we may be okay on this position. Price-wise, I think we're looking really good. Let's take a look at our EEM. Our EEM double calendar. Remember, we didn't put all these positions on the same day, and that can be a very good thing because we had a very large up move when I put on the SPY and I put on the IWM position, and now and then I put on the EEM position after that large move, and we're looking really good here. We're right in the center of our double calendar tent. We like this little tent here. And that position is looking very good right now. And don't worry about these profit and loss figures because we just put these positions on. The first few days, the first week even, sometimes even the first week and a half, you're not going to see a position in profit until we get a little bit closer to expiration, because we put these out 35 days from expiration, so the theta really doesn't start to kick in. You can see that we're positive theta here. It really doesn't start to kick in until about a week and a half after you get into a position like this. So don't worry about that. Now we'll take a look at everything on a portfolio weighted basis. It doesn't look too bad. On a portfolio weighted basis, our little test account here is really looking decent. We've got on a portfolio. What they do is they portfolio beta weight this based on EEM prices. So if we were to keep everything the way it is right now, the EEM at 145.08 could run all the way up to 152.50. And we'd still be in a profitable position if we were close to expiration. If it runs up there too far before expiration, then we may have to do some additional adjustments. But this is the way we look right now, and it looks pretty good. I mean, the EEM could run all the way down to 132, all the way up to 155, and we're not looking too bad. I'd like to raise the center of this a little bit. Maybe, but maybe once we adjust our IWM, because remember IWM is kind of the weak link in this in our portfolio. I'll just go back here and take a look at IWM again. Let's take a look at this because this may be the weak point in our portfolio and dragging down the center of our tent. So right now we're pretty close. We're right up against that edge. Now what I've done is I've taken a couple of possible adjustments here. Now let's take a look at this. What happens if we add a put calendar at 70, which is just about at the center, and that does raise our tent in the center, but we're still, and it does extend our break-even point on the upside by just a little. Let's see, that's about 73, just below 73. And it raises it up about 3/4 of a point because that's about 72. But what if we put another double calendar on, laying it on top of the one that we have? Now we're starting not to look too bad. We're back, very, very close to the center. And I'm not talking about taking off any of our other positions here. We're going to keep these other positions. But what we want to do is we want to just straighten out our tent here so that, let's see, if we take, if we hide our simulations, we're way down here. But if we if we do some adjustments, here, then we have a nice little tent here, and we've got a little bit wider break evens. Now our break even on the upside is all the way up to 75.5, and down on the downside 68. So this may not be a bad adjustment for this position, but that's how we roll through each one of the positions that you have on a daily basis. You just want to make sure that your position overall on a portfolio basis, is looking really good, and on the individual symbols. Now let's take a look at this on a portfolio weighted basis. What happens to our position? Now that's without the adjustments. On a portfolio basis, that's the way it looks. Like I said, I'd like to raise this 10 up here, just a little bit here, flatten this out maybe. Now, if we put on the adjustments that we had planned for IWM, what does that do? Yep, it raises it up just a little bit, but it also extends a nice little tent up to the upside here around 73, 74, which would be very, very nice. So we're going to go ahead and do that adjustment. It's going to make our individual position look a lot better because we're kind of in the center. If we take those off, we can see that we're way down here. We're also going to take a look at our portfolio, and it does help our portfolio. Let's take a look and see if we hide our simulations what it does. Yeah, we've got this drooping shoulder. It's starting to look like a shoulder down here. It's kind of drooping. We don't want drooping shoulders. We want really nice. There we go. We'll lift that shoulder up and walk tall. Okay, so that's how you go through your positions on a daily basis. Just to take a look and see which ones actually need adjustments or not. If they don't need adjustments, you leave them alone. You let the theta work for you. If you do need to adjust your positions, then that's that's what you have to do. And go through some of the adjustments that we've done for the SPY. We're going to be doing a check the video on the IWM that we've got right here that we're going to be doing an adjustment on. But I just wanted to walk you through how you actually check, on an individual basis, all of your positions. Just check up on them, make sure that you're in that good center position where you're not, you're not getting hurt. You want to make sure that your break evens are on either side. Now, unless the market moves like 1,000 points today, we don't have to look at it again. We look at it once, and we go about our business. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes just to kind of run through each one of your positions. Depending on how many you have, you might have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions, but when you're just starting out, I would recommend 3 positions at the most. Then you can start adding, and as you get used to dealing with individual positions, and you get used to taking a look at them on a portfolio weighted basis, then maybe you could add additional positions. You can go 5, 6, maybe even 7 positions in a diversified portfolio of income trades. You check them out once a day, take a look at them. Hey, they're doing good. Walk away, go have fun, go play with your kids. If you have a day job, go to work, and you don't have to worry about your positions. It's really, really, really a nice way to trade because you check up on these once, and you're good to go until the next day. So that's it for today, guys. That's how you run through positions. Check and see if any adjustments are necessary. Always go back to and review the adjustment CD because there's a lot of great information on how what you want to do when you do need to do an adjustment. For example, we're going to be doing an adjustment today on this IWM position because it ran up against us. You know, it ran against us quite strong, and we can even adjust this to the point I think where we can add, you know, additional bit of profit to the position. That's why I don't like that. Even if I'm doing in my regular account, if I'm doing much larger positions than this, you know, 10, 20, 30 contracts, I don't like to add all of my contracts on at one point. I'll add maybe 5, and then maybe another 5 another day, another 5 another day, until I've built up a position where I'm really adjusting for price over a series of a week or so. Between that 35 and 40 days to expiration, anywhere between 30 and 40 days to expiration, then I build a nice portfolio base there. But of course, adjustments are necessary, and if you do add your positions 30 to 40 days before expiration, that gives you time to adjust, which is nice. So you don't want to put on positions like if you have 14 days before expiration. Well, now you're in a position where the prices are running against you. Where do you adjust at that point? It's going to be much more difficult to adjust at that point because you're not going to have you're going to have greater theta decay, but you're also going to have greater price risk because you're not going to get the if you're in, you know, if you're selling calls, if you're doing vertical calls, if you're selling call spreads or you're selling put spreads, then you're not going to have the prices that you need in order to gain a large profitable position in that over time. So this is the way that I manage these trades. I run through them one by one, and then I take a look at them on a portfolio weighted basis. And that is, to me, this is actually a very, very calm, very confident way to trade, because you know what, if one of these positions gets out of line, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what to do to fix it. This one is out of line. The only thing I'm going to do is add a couple of I'm going to lay a calendar on top of the calendar I already have. It actually increased my expiration profitability. You can see the center of this tent is at 405. If I took these off, the center of the tent was only $257. So I actually, not only did I adjust to bring these back into line so that I am right at the center of my tent, but I also increased my profitability by another $150 or so. So there's lots of things that you can do, and there's absolutely no reason for you to get hurt really, really bad in any of these positions while you're trading. And so that's why I always say trade with confidence.